Good morning, y'all. This is Taylor with y'all 106.7, and today I'm joined by Robby Johnson, singer, songwriter, fisherman, we just learned, who has quickly garnished over 10 million views on YouTube and is approaching 8 million streams on his music. Welcome to y'all.
Hey, well, thanks for having me here. It's great.
How are we feeling?
Oh, feeling really excited. Had a great weekend, great long weekend, Labor Day weekend on the East Coast, and it was great. My son, he caught a huge striped bass, about 38 to 40 inches. So that was a real, a great highlight of the trip. And excited about my release that's coming out this Friday.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it more than you think. It's a song about, grandparents. My grandfather, Leo, had a huge impact on my life. So I'm really excited about that.
That is a very sweet song, very powerful, a little emotional too. It kind of got me in my feels a little bit. But it's essentially, kind of just everything that he taught you, correct? Like your grandpa, shave your beard, stand up tall, how to be a man.
Exactly, because, my father left us. He literally abandoned us when I was 5. So I didn't have really a role model, and my grandparents, they were great. I mean, they would work multiple jobs just to get enough money, send us money over, clothing, shoes, and also, the money for Christmas presents. So I don't know where I would be if it weren't for them. So they were a huge, influence in my life and taught me so many things. And even, the song, of course, is about my grandfather, but my grandmother, she was a show woman. I mean, she would put up a show. So I think I have a lot of that in me that came from her. But yeah, so, and it's funny because I wrote the song and it's inspired by, true events in my life. And I was looking at a date to release it. I'm like, oh my God, it's right around National Grandparents Day. So wow, that's cool. And it wasn't planned like that. It just happened like that.
Meant to be.
Yeah. It's kind of like music. Sometimes you write a song and you feel like, hey, where is this coming from? I don't feel like I wrote this. I just found it. It was floating somewhere and I just put it on paper and there it is. Yeah. So it's funny how it all aligned.
In those songs like that, it's going to touch so many, people who were also raised by their grandparents or strongly influenced by their grandparents. It's going to speak to a lot of people. So I think that's a perfect time to release it.
Yeah. And that's why we do music. We just want to be the soundtrack of people's lives. So if it helps people and all that, and great. Mission accomplished.
And it's a storytelling aspect. That's what we need to get back to more of. The 90s country, which we play a ton of at y'all, is the storytelling. And I love the honesty in your lyrics.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I'm into country music because, I love country music and I knew country music and I was listening to a lot of country music at a young age without knowing, it's country music, it's a genre, it's in a box and all that. But then my cousin played me some Garth Brooks, and he was speaking directly to me about stuff in my everyday life. And man, it had such an impact, and that's why I'm in country music because it's everyday life. It's what we are going through as human beings, and it's also about having a good time.
It is. Shout out Garth Brooks. Love him. What's your favorite Garth song?
I would say I really love Friends in Low Places because when you cover it, people just go crazy.
Oh, it's a crowd pleaser.
Oh, yeah, it's a crowd pleaser. You have to do it. But I would say back then, The Dance was really the song that drew me in. And, I mean, a lot of his songs. Really,
very powerful.
I would say The Dance was
one of your songs I like is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's a sexy song, Up All Night.
Oh, yeah.
I love that melody. It's fun. And I think the lyrics, hotter than the hottest flame in hell. I was like, oh, okay, this song is heating up. But I just love that your artistry, you can go on two ends of the spectrum, honest, vulnerable to that sexy, melodic, turning it up the heat a little bit. So it's very cool.
Well, thank you. And I was talking about, sometimes you write songs, you don't really know where it's coming from. And this one, I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I had this melody in my head, Up All Night, and I just recorded it on my phone, and the next day I started, strumming and having fun, fooling around with it.
You were literally up all night.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Exactly.
Well, you've gotten a lot of media attention. David Letterman, The Late Show.
I still don't believe it.
What was that like? How did that happen?
It was, my first single out, South of Me, and we shot a music video in Jamaica, and people were like, "You're crazy, Robby. You have to wait until you're top 30 on Billboard before you even think about shooting a music video." And I was like, well, I'm an indie artist. I'm not getting a top 30
do
on
whatever
Billboard.
you want.
I mean, that's not going to happen. I don't have the, the resources, to go on a radio tour, full-blown radio tour. So I decided to shoot this music video, and it just went viral. And then my publicist back then just sent it first ever press release, and they jumped on it, and they wanted me on the show, which was really crazy because I used to watch that show, never even thinking I could be there as an artist. So it was surreal. And I mean, I was there, and, David Letterman just called me up on stage, Robby Johnson, here we go, and I still can't believe it.
Yeah, you're like, that's my name. You're like, yeah,
Why
he's
is he
talking
calling
to
me.
me.
I have no, I have no business here, you know. But it's pretty crazy because I had kind of like an out of body experience where I was on stage and I had to hold on to the mic stand to bring me back down because I wasn't there. It was really crazy.
Wow.
But I mean, it was a lot of fun. And every time I see the footage, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this.
That's so cool.
I have the mug at home, they give you presents, and I have the David Letterman.
You have proof that it really happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
I was there.
So when you look at your career in the future, is there something else like that you're like, man, this is like my bucket list. I really want to do this, or a venue you really want to play?
I mean, any venue, I just want to play. I'm just looking forward to those big crowds or whatever size crowd that are just singing back the lyrics to me. I mean, that it's creating those moments. Because me by myself with the guitar, it's cool, it's fun and you're just jamming. But with a bunch of people creating this moment together, because it is a moment, because they are there, I'm there, and we're doing this together, and they give you energy, you give energy back, and the band, it's like, it's that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking forward to, is creating those moments that people will remember down the road. Say, hey, you remember that show, Robby Johnson? That was such a great show. We had such a great time. And me looking back and saying, oh man, I had such a great time that show, the energy and everything. So it's teamwork, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Well, it's not a specific, place or, stadium or event or, CMA Awards or, no, it's just creating those moments.
Just want to keep going.
Yeah.
And your live shows are said you have the same energy as like Garth Brooks and Keith Urban. Is that kind of your live show energy?
The craziness of a Garth Brooks show. I mean, Garth Brooks show, every player except for the drummer, they're all, in-ears, and they're all wireless. So everybody's moving around on stage. And that's what I want. I don't want, I don't want a show where everybody's just standing behind a mic, and, pressing their pedals and just looking down and playing their parts. I want them to be in the action, in the show, with the crowd, and just having a blast. So that's what I want. And so that's where the Garth Brooks energy is.
Keep them on their feet the whole time. We love it. Let's talk about those 8 million streams and all of your listeners. So what would you say is the song that has connected the most with your fans? Was it your Cowboy song you were telling me about, or that one's about to come out?
Well, right now the Cowboy song is doing really great. It's my most streamed song month after month. It's on Spotify's traditional country playlist, which is insane to think about. I'm right next to Kojo, Cody Johnson, and all those great traditional country acts. I mean, it's surreal. That too is kind of, hey, I can brag.
Heck yeah.
Hey, I'm on the traditional country playlist, so that's really cool. But I mean, people really connect with that song and they love it. But everybody has their favorite, and it's fun on social media. You know, people, like you were saying, oh, Up All Night, I love that. You know,
Yeah.
the sexiness and all, I love that song. But yeah, I think that would be the one lately.
Yeah. So the rest of 2024, what are we looking at? We've got a new song coming out on September 8th. Are we hitting the road? Are we playing any shows?
That's the goal, to be out there and playing as many shows as possible. I am working on some new music. Even this morning, I was still, you know, fooling around with a new song that I have. It's probably going to be titled "Kiss Me," and it's going to be another, you know, kind of not sexy, more of a hey baby, you know, why did we break up? Let's just fix this and make this work. So, and I'm going to be releasing more singles and then probably an album later on with all those songs and newer songs. So
we're very excited. We cannot wait to hear this new song. Well, we can't wait for our listeners to hear it because we've heard it and it's very good. So if you want to listen to Robby's new music, we're going to link it down below. Is there anything that we did not cover today that you want our listeners to know?
No, just thank you so much for being around and streaming, sharing, listening, and that's it. Thank you so much. Thanks.
And thank you for hanging out with us at Y'all 106.7.